They've crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and shrugged off weather that would break lesser machines. These 17 long-distance motorcycles are survivors, storytellers, road companions for life. One has passed the 1 million mile mark. Another can go 500,000 without ever opening the engine. In this countdown of 17 legends, you'll see the bikes that became unstoppable. And the last entry? It may be the closest thing to immortal on two wheels. Starting at number 17, Honda ST1100 Pan-European. The Honda ST1100, better known as the Pan-European, is a touring masterpiece that has become legendary for its ability to go the distance. Launched in the early 1990s, it was built with one mission: to be the shaft-driven mile crusher that could ride across continents without complaint. Its 1,100 cubic centimeters V4 engine produces around 100 horsepower and over 80 pound-feet of torque, enough to push this 690-pound tourer all day with effortless grace. The giant 7.7-gallon tank delivers ranges of over 300 miles, making fuel stops an afterthought. With a seat height just over 31 inches, it accommodates most riders comfortably, and the broad saddle is built for day-long comfort. Reliability? The ST1100 became a favorite of police forces across Europe and the United States, chosen because it could easily last 200,000 miles with little more than routine maintenance. Riders report odometers hitting 300,000 and still ticking. New, the ST sold in the $12,000 range, while today, used examples can be had for $4,000 to $6,000, a bargain for a machine that might outlast its owner. But while the ST1100 proves Honda's genius for durability, the next bike shows how Yamaha designed a rugged ADV that could take on the world. Revving it up at number 16, Yamaha Super Tenere 1200 XT 1200Z. The Yamaha Super Tenere 1200 was designed from the ground up to go where few motorcycles dare, across deserts, over mountains, and through the world's roughest terrain. With shaft drive, a rugged chassis, and legendary Japanese reliability, it became a go-anywhere machine for riders chasing horizons. Powered by a 1,199cc parallel twin, it delivers around 100 horsepower and over 80 pound-feet of torque. Weighing about 575 pounds, wet with a 33-inch seat height, it strikes that perfect balance of comfort and off-road capability. Its 6-gallon tank stretches over 250 miles of range, making it a dependable partner in remote places where gas stations are few and far between. Proof of durability? Countless round-the-world riders have chosen the Super Tenere for its unbreakable reputation. Many report crossing continents with odometers well beyond 150,000 miles, still running with nothing more than basic service. It has been tested in the harshest environments and keeps going. New, the bike sat around $15,000, but well-kept used models can be found for under $10,000. It is the bike of choice for adventurers who demand reliability above all else. But while the Super Tenere thrives on remote trails, the next machine proves that BMW has perfected the art of long-distance touring on paved roads. Blazing in at number 15, BMW R1150 RT. The BMW R1150 RT may not scream adventure, but on the open road, few machines are as capable of devouring miles. Launched in the late 1990s, it quickly earned a reputation for being a touring workhorse with a perfect mix of power, comfort, and German engineering. Its 1,130 cubic centimeters boxer twin makes 95 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque, pushing a wet weight of about 630 pounds. A 6.6-gallon tank gives it ranges up to 270 miles, while a 32-inch seat height and plush ergonomics keep the rider in total comfort. The full touring fairing blocks wind and weather, making long-distance journeys far less tiring. Reliability? The R1150 RT has been a favorite in iron butt rallies, with riders clocking 11,000 miles in just 11 days, a punishing test that only the toughest machines survive. Many owners report over 200,000 miles on the clock, still running strong. Back then, new prices hovered around $15,000. And today, used models can be had for $6,000 to $8,000, a small price for a bike with proven staying power. The RT is about refined endurance, a highway king that just keeps going. And yet, the next motorcycle takes BMW's durability spirit and pushes it to even greater adventure heights. At number 14, BMW R100 RT. This type of BMW RT is not just a motorcycle, it is a rolling testament to German engineering. Born in the late 70s and carrying through the 80s, this airhead boxer became the ultimate tourer of its era, a bike that gave riders comfort, endurance, and an engine that seemed immortal. At its core beats a 9080cc air-cooled flat twin boxer, pushing out about 70 horsepower with a torque curve as smooth as butter. Coupled with a 5-speed gearbox and shaft drive, the power delivery was reliable and low maintenance. No chain adjustments, no surprises. Riders knew they could set off across Europe and back without fear. The full fairing was a revolution, offering wind protection that turned long, cold rides into comfortable journeys. Weight sat at around 530 pounds dry, with a seat height of about 31 inches, making it accessible to touring riders who wanted distance without pain. Add in twin-disc brakes up front, long-lasting parts, and simple mechanics, and you had a machine built to outlast generations. Back then, new prices in the US floated around $4,500 in the early 80s. Today, used examples vary. Clean, restored models fetch $5,000 to $8,000, while well-worn but running units can be found for $3,000. Considering their reliability and classic status, these numbers are a steal. The Airhead Boxer engine is simple, easy to service, and loved by mechanics everywhere. Valve adjustments take minutes, parts are still available, and communities of enthusiasts keep these R100 RTs alive. But if this gave us a forgotten powerhouse, the next bike is anything but forgotten. It's a Japanese explorer that has roamed the globe and carved out its own loyal following. Hammering down at number 13, Kawasaki Concours 14. The Concours is a motorcycle that takes sport and touring and blends them into a mile-eating beast. Launched in the late 2000s, it quickly earned respect as a machine that could cover vast distances at speed while keeping the rider wrapped in comfort. For riders who wanted more than a cruiser but also needed endurance, the Concours became the answer. Weighing just under 700 pounds, the Concours 14 is a solid planted tourer with plenty of wind protection and a saddle designed for all-day comfort. Add in a generous fuel tank, and suddenly cross-state trips feel like nothing more than casual Sunday rides. Riders regularly report odometers rolling past 150,000 miles, still running strong with little more than routine maintenance. New, the Concours 14 sold around $15,000, but today, well-kept used models can be found between $7,000 and $9,000. That makes it one of the best long-distance values out there. A true sport tourer that laughs in the face of age. The Concours 14 proves that speed and endurance can live in the same machine. But while this Kawasaki shows how Japan builds a touring powerhouse, the next bike reminds us how the British spirit of exploration still thrives in a machine built to chase horizons. Laying rubber at number 12, BMW K1600 GT. This BMW GT is a motorcycle that feels less like a machine and more like a luxury locomotive built for the open road. First introduced in 2011, this German tourer brought something almost no other bike dared to attempt, a silky, smooth inline-six engine. Producing 160 horsepower and 129 pound-feet of torque, it can surge forward with effortless grace, even when fully loaded with a passenger and luggage. Despite tipping the scales at just over 700 pounds, the K1600 GT handles with surprising agility, thanks to BMW's clever suspension and chassis design. The seat height of 32 inches offers a commanding view of the road, while the fuel tank, holding just under 7 gallons, gives it a range that comfortably clears 200 miles. Price-wise, this isn't the cheapest companion. New models retail around $25,000, while used examples can be found for $12,000 to $15,000 depending on age and condition. Still, for those who want a bike that feels more like a perpetual motion machine than a motorcycle, the 𝐏/1600 GT is unmatched. If you're still here with us, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. You'll never regret it. Yet for all its power and polish, not every rider needs a luxury giant. Sometimes the most loyal adventure companion is the simplest one, built to climb mountains, cross rivers, and never complain. Roaring down the line at number 11, Royal Enfield Himalayan. The Royal Enfield Himalayan may not boast huge horsepower numbers or futuristic electronics, but what it delivers is pure dependability and simplicity, the qualities that keep riders moving when the road gets rough. Born in 2016, the Himalayan was designed with one purpose: to conquer the challenging roads of the Indian Himalayas, where only the toughest machines survive. Best of all, the Himalayan remains incredibly affordable. Brand new, it sells for about $5,500 in most markets, while used ones can often be found for $3,000 to $4,000. That makes it one of the cheapest true adventure bikes that can circle the globe without breaking down or breaking your wallet. But while the Himalayan thrives on simplicity, the next machine is its opposite, a British-built ADV legend that combines heritage with cutting-edge endurance to roam the world's wildest roads. Cranking it up to number 10, Triumph Tiger 800. The Triumph Tiger 800 roared onto the scene in 2010, and it quickly became a favorite among adventure riders who wanted a bike that was both versatile and reliable. This was Triumph's answer to the midweight adventure class, and it delivered a perfect blend of power, comfort, and long-distance capability. At the heart of the Tiger sits a 799cc inline triple, producing around 95 horsepower and 58 pound-feet of torque. The engine is smooth, responsive, and carries that signature Triumph triple growl that riders absolutely love. Combined with a 6-speed gearbox and chain drive, it gives riders confidence both on highways and on gravel tracks. The bike weighs in at about 470 pounds dry, with a seat height ranging from 31 to 33 inches, depending on adjustment. A 5-gallon fuel tank delivers a range of around 250 miles, making it a strong choice for touring without frequent stops. And suspension was built with adventure in mind, offering long travel for rough roads while keeping road handling sharp. When new, the Tiger 800 started at around $10,000 in the US. Today, depending on year and condition, used models can be found between $5,000 and $8,000, which is outstanding value for a bike with this level of engineering and longevity. For riders who want one bike that can do it all, the Triumph Tiger 800 still stands as a modern classic. But while this triple is smooth and sophisticated, the next legendary machine relies on a single-minded simplicity that's even more enduring. But while the Tiger blends comfort with versatility, the next bike is an even more iconic warrior, a Japanese ADV built to handle jungles, deserts, and every harsh terrain in between. Hitting top gear at number 9, Honda Africa Twin Dash. The Honda Africa Twin is a motorcycle that earned its stripes in the world's toughest races. Inspired by Honda's domination in the Paris-Dakar Rally during the 80s, the Africa Twin has grown into one of the most respected adventure machines ever made. The latest version, the CRF 1100L, carries a parallel twin engine pushing out just over 100 horsepower, enough to tackle highways, mountains, or desert dunes with equal confidence. Despite its size, weighing just over 500 pounds, the Africa Twin feels surprisingly manageable. Its seat height ranges from 32 to 34 inches, making it tall but perfect for tackling rough terrain. With a 5-gallon tank and efficient fueling, it delivers a range of over 200 miles, allowing riders to wander far beyond gas stations. Brand new, the Africa Twin sells for around $15,000. with used models going from 8 to 12,000, depending on age and condition. But beyond numbers, what defines the Africa Twin is its reputation for never quitting. Owners take these bikes across continents, down dirt roads, through rivers and deserts, and the bike simply keeps going. Still, while the Africa Twin is an adventure hero, the next motorcycle doesn't rely on dirt or racing heritage. Instead, it thrives on American tradition, the timeless roar of a V-twin carrying riders across highways that stretch for days. Full throttle at number 8, Harley-Davidson Road King. Few motorcycles capture the spirit of the open highway like the Harley-Davidson Road King. Born in the mid-90s and evolving from Harley's rich touring heritage, the Road King has become one of the most recognizable and loved motorcycles in the world. It's not overloaded with gadgets or gimmicks. Instead, it delivers the pure, unfiltered Harley touring experience. At its heart lies the Milwaukee 8 107 or 114 cubic inch V-twin, delivering that iconic rumble and plenty of torque for long hauls. Weighing just under 800 pounds with a 6-gallon fuel tank, the Road King is built for crossing states without pause. Its large windshield, deep saddlebags, and upright seating turn marathon rides into comfortable journeys. Brand new, the Road King costs around $21,000, while used examples are easy to find between $11,000 and $16,000. Many have logged hundreds of thousands of miles with nothing but routine maintenance, proof that the Road King was designed for forever travel. This motorcycle is more than steel and chrome. It is a symbol of freedom, carrying riders through deserts, mountains, and coastlines, each mile adding to its story. And while the Road King reigns on America's highways, the next machine represents a very different approach. A Japanese marathoner designed with silky smooth, 6-cylinder precision. Blasting forward into number 7, Yamaha FJR 1300. The Yamaha FJR 1300 is the kind of motorcycle that laughs at distance. Since its launch in 2001, the FJR has built a reputation as one of the most dependable sport tourers ever made. Powered by a 1,298 cubic centimeter inline-4, the bike produces around 145 horsepower and 90 pound-feet of torque, giving it effortless acceleration even when fully loaded with passenger and luggage. Weighing roughly 650 pounds with a 6.6-gallon fuel tank, the FJR can cover nearly 300 miles before stopping for fuel. Its electronically adjustable windshield, upright ergonomics, and plush seat make it a true long-distance warrior. But beyond comfort and performance, what makes the FJR legendary is its reliability. Many owners proudly report 200,000, even 100,000 miles without ever needing major engine work. Brand new, the last production models sold for about $17,000, while used examples range between $5,000 and $10,000. For riders who want a machine that can ride coast to coast repeatedly without complaint, the FJR 1300 is unmatched. Yet for all its Japanese precision, across the sea in Italy, another motorcycle carries the torch of endurance in a very different way, with charisma, character, and a rumbling V-twin heartbeat that simply refuses to fade. Throttle wide open at number 6, Moto Guzzi, California 1100. The Moto Guzzi California 1100 is a true classic of the cruiser world. Built in Mandello del Lario, Italy, this bike carried on the legacy of the California line that began back in the 1970s when Guzzi was supplying motorcycles to the Los Angeles Police Department. By the 90s, the 1100 had arrived, and it quickly became known as a European alternative to American cruisers, offering old-school character with Italian flair. At its heart beats a 1,094cc air-cooled, longitudinal V-twin engine, producing around 75 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque. The engine is signature Guzzi, throbbing, characterful, and reliable once properly maintained. A 5-speed gearbox, shaft drive, and torquey power delivery make it a joy for long-distance cruising. The bike tips the scales at around 550 pounds dry, with a seat height of about 30 inches, low and comfortable for long days in the saddle. The 5.4-gallon tank offers a range of around 200 miles, making it well-suited for touring. Add in its large windshield, spacious saddle, and laid-back ergonomics, and you get a bike built for the open road. When new, the California 1100 was priced at around $10,000 in the United States. Today, used examples range from $3,500 to $6,000, depending on condition. That makes it one of the best value shaft drive cruisers still available on the market. But while the California represents Italian charm and longevity, the next bike in our journey comes from Japan. A mile-crushing beast that combines value, versatility, and rugged simplicity in a way few bikes ever have. Charging up to number 5, Suzuki V-Strom 650. The Suzuki V-Strom 650 has earned its reputation as the reliable workhorse of the ATV world. Riders call it the middleweight mule because it just keeps going, no matter the terrain, no matter the weather. Powered by a 650 cubic centimeter V-twin, this bike delivers smooth power, plenty of torque, and enough highway punch to keep up with much larger machines. Yet it manages all of that while staying light, comfortable, and surprisingly affordable. The best part? The V-Strom is legendary for its low cost of ownership. Brand new, it hovered around $8,000 to $9,000, while used examples can be found for as little as $4,000 to $5,000. And yet, these bikes have been known to clock well over 100,000 miles, with nothing more than oil, chains, and routine maintenance. It is a bike that asks very little but gives back so much more. The V-Strom 650 is the definition of a forever friend on two wheels. But while it represents modern Japanese engineering at its finest, the next machine on our list is something entirely different. A motorcycle that has been rolling across roads for nearly a century, outlasting generations of riders. Sliding into number 4, Royal Enfield Bullet 500. The Royal Enfield Bullet 500 is not just a motorcycle, it is a piece of history on wheels. First produced in the late 1930s and refined in the 1950s, it holds the record as the longest continuously produced motorcycle in the world. For decades, this single-cylinder thumper defined what riding meant in India and beyond. The Bullet is simple, tough, and endlessly repairable. With its air-cooled carbureted engine producing that iconic thump, it was never about speed but about soulful endurance. Soldiers rode it, farmers relied on it, and city riders trusted it to survive heat, rain, and roads that would destroy lesser machines. New, the Bullet 500 sold for around $5,000, and used models can still be found for less than $3,000. What it gives is priceless. A chance to ride the same motorcycle your grandfather could have ridden, and maybe even your father too. And while you're here listening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. You'll never regret it. The Bullet is about legacy. It is about never quitting. And yet, for riders who crave a machine that blends endurance with high-speed sport touring, the story continues with the top 3 of most respected touring legends. Number 3, Harley-Davidson Electra Glide. Few motorcycles embody the spirit of the open road like the Harley-Davidson Electra Glide. Introduced in the early 1960s, this machine has become the undisputed symbol of American touring. With its massive fairing, comfy saddle, and that unmistakable Harley V-twin rumble, the Electra Glide is less of a motorcycle and more of a rolling living room built for endless highways. Weighing close to 900 pounds, the Electra Glide is no featherweight. But once it is rolling, it feels surprisingly stable and reassuring. That heft translates into comfort, with wind protection that shields riders from the harshest elements and a suspension tuned to glide over cracks and bumps. New, these machines can easily cross $30,000, but well-loved used models are out there from $12,000 to $15,000. Many are still running strongs after hundreds of thousands of miles because Harley riders keep them alive with passion and care. The Electra Glide is the bike of memories, parades, rallies, coast-to-coast journeys. But if Harley represents the all-American dream, the next machine takes things global, a motorcycle designed to conquer every road and every continent. Dominating the list at number 2, BMW R1002 150 GS-. The BMW R1250 GS has become the definition of adventure motorcycling. From the highways of Europe to the deserts of Africa and the jungles of South America, this motorcycle has gone everywhere and refuses to quit. With its boxer twin engine pumping out over 100 horsepower and torque that feels endless, the GS is built for both tarmac and trails. The low-slung cylinders give it a unique balance, making this nearly 600-pound motorcycle feel surprisingly nimble. It eats up highway miles with cruise-like comfort, yet when the pavement ends, it transforms into a dirt road conqueror. New models sit around $20,000, but many seasoned adventurers choose used GS machines for $12,000 to $15,000, knowing full well they can trust the bike with their life on the road. The GS is not just a motorcycle, it is a ticket to the world. A machine that can carry you from the Arctic to the Sahara without missing a beat. But while the GS is modern engineering at its finest, the next motorcycle on our list proves that sometimes the forgotten, overlooked machines are the ones that surprise us most. The final word in 2 wheels. Number 1, Honda Goldwing, Japan, the million-mile touring icon. If there is one motorcycle that defines endless journeys, it is the Honda Goldwing. Born in the mid-1970s, the Goldwing quickly became the standard for long-distance touring. Riders whisper about one particular Goldwing with over 1 million miles on its odometer, still running strong. Proof that this machine is as close to immortal as a motorcycle can be. With a flat-6 engine displacing over 1,800 cubic centimeters, the Goldwing delivers silky power and torque that never feels strained. What sets it apart is not just the performance, but the comfort. Plush seats, a wide fairing, and a suspension that swallows bumps whole make it feel less like a motorcycle and more like a 2-wheeled luxury jet. Weighing close to 900 pounds, the Goldwing is a giant, yet once in motion, it glides with surprising grace. Riders describe it as floating down highways, devouring miles in silence and smoothness. The fuel tank allows for hours of uninterrupted riding, and many riders cross entire states in a single push without fatigue. The price can climb well above $30,000, but used Goldwings from earlier generations can be found between $6,000 and $10,000, still ready to take you across the country and back again. The Goldwing is not just a motorcycle, it is a promise that distance is no barrier, that age is no limit, that journeys can last a lifetime. But while the Goldwing is a luxury giant, the next bike shows how an adventure machine from Italy can be just as unbreakable, though in a very different way. Well, that's it for this, folks. Click the video and let these legends of the road sink in one more time. These are the machines that prove a motorcycle can outlive generations, carrying memories and miles that never fade.